All right, another fun video. I love doing these type of videos because there's always something going on. And I found out about this story yesterday. I think it's been trending slash talked about in the past 2 days. And there are two main characters in this story. There's a 31-year-old mother of three, and then there's a 25-year-old. I'm assuming he's a rapper or does something in the music industry. And there's a little twist to the story as well. There's also a third person involved, which I just found out about like recently, like probably within the past couple hours or so. But I'm gonna break the story down into three parts: her side, his side, and then like the internet's reaction slash my reaction. So just bear with me. And I guess we'll start with her side. And this woman, I think her name is Kim. She is 31 years old, mother of three. She's pretty, but she went on TikTok and she decided to do a story time. And I would usually play the video because it would be better than just me explaining it, but the video is like 8 minutes long, and I don't think anyone wants to watch an 8 minute long video. So I'm gonna try my best to shorten it as much as I can. I might miss some details, but again, so she gets on TikTok and she talks about how she was talking to this guy. He's 25. I think he raps. I'm not for sure on that, but anyway, she sees this guy on Instagram. I'm assuming she finds him attractive. She begins talking to him. They start talking back and forth, and eventually it gets to a point where she wants to go meet him. Now, I should let everyone know that she does this often, according to her. So she, I guess, will see a guy she finds attractive. They'll start talking, and then she will go to them. I'm assuming fly out to them, or they fly her out, because in this story, she mentioned that she does this all the time. She meets with businessmen and rappers, and apparently she's been with a famous rapper that people listen to, which I'm not for sure who it is. I did see some people speculating that it was Boss Man D-Lo, which if that's true, that'd be fucking hilarious, because she said that this is a rapper everyone listens to, and I don't want to blow up his spot. So that's funny if it's Boss Man D-Lo, because I don't think I can name a Boss Man D-Lo song. I think other than that one song, that Big Dog song, I don't think that's even his song. I think that's a Love Tyler song. So there's that. But they're talking, so it's around Valentine's Day now. So, or actually, let me back that up. She thinks he's not real before that. So they're talking, they eventually FaceTime, and then, around Valentine's Day, because she didn't think that he was real. She was worried because they were only texting at this point. They were texting, they FaceTime, she verifies he's real. Then Valentine's Day comes, she gets a plane ticket, and she is planning on flying out there to Atlanta. And I think she's from New York. So she's flying from New York to Atlanta. And that's when the story starts to go a little bit downhill for Kim. So she gets the ticket. They're still texting after the FaceTime. They're still texting, all that. He's telling her that he doesn't think he can be able to see her because he has a daughter that he has to take care of. Understandable. And they're still talking. She still wants to see him. All right. She's still desperate as hell. She wants to see him. She eventually gets on the plane. She flies out to Atlanta. Then they're still talking back and forth. He tells her that he might be able to get a babysitter, kind of leading her on a little bit, and still be able to see her. She's saying fine, whatever. She gets there, and she has to find a hotel, because he does have his own place, but if he has his daughter, he needs to leave her with the babysitter. So I'm guessing at his place, and then they go to the hotel. So there's this back and forth about the hotel, because she was saying she gets a hotel, she wants her money back. She wants her $300 back reimbursed for the hotel. He's saying no. And then I guess she eventually gets there. She gets her hotel. They don't meet up. So they don't meet up. She's in Atlanta. They don't meet up. And basically the end of the story is that she had a good time in Atlanta. They never meet up, and she goes on TikTok, makes a story. The story goes viral. Now, there's his side of the story. The 25-year-old, I think his name is Gottiboyanttt. Let me double check that. I think it's, Gottiboyanttt. All right. I still don't know what he does. I think he's a rapper. He came out with his side of the story, and his side of the story brings a lot more context than I think any of us initially expected. Any of us who were like, who knows about the story already. So most of the story is corroborated. They were talking, she DM'd him, they're messaging. And then there's like the initial FaceTime that she talked about because she thought he wasn't real. He says when he FaceTimed her, she didn't look as good as she did in her Instagram pictures. All right. And her Instagram picture, she's very beautiful. But in the story time, if you watch the story time, she does have a filter on. She's not like super put together, but I could tell the filter was like going on and off, you know, when you're talking and moving and the filter is trying to stay close to your face and stuff like that. So he said he wasn't initially attracted. Like after that, he wasn't feeling it, but he's still talking to her. So they're still talking. She eventually gets the plane ticket. She's going to fly to Atlanta. And then there's the hotel room situation, which she wanted to get her, she was going to pay for the hotel room, but she wanted her money back. She wanted the $300 back from that. So there's that story. And then there's the daughter story, which I kind of do sympathize with him a little bit. He's saying he didn't want to bring a stranger around his daughter. And that's why he wasn't super comfortable meeting up and saying, being respectful to his daughter and his baby mama he had his daughter with. So there's that. And then he's saying like she didn't need to get a hotel because he has his own place and all that. But the day after Valentine's Day, because this is when all of this was happening, around Valentine's weekend. So that's that Friday into Saturday. She is still trying to meet up with them. All right. She is thirsty. And I don't know how I can put this any clearer. Like she's freaked out. She's freaked out. So in Gotti's story time he did on TikTok, which I think I might link all of it below if I find it, but you can watch it yourself. It is long. Like all the story times are very long. But in his TikTok, all right, he dropped the text messages. And when you see the text messages, she is thirsty. I mean, she needs some water. All right. She's dehydrated. Like she's so fucking thirsty. But one particular text went viral and everyone is just talking about it. So I'm actually going to put the text messages up here. And there's one text message where she sends a picture. And the picture is of breath mints and a throat numbing drop. All right. Now, if I was shown that picture, someone sent that to me, I wouldn't know what's going on. I'd be like, what is this? And that's what he said in the text message. He's like, what is this? And she's like, you don't know? And she's just talking like she uses this to give amazing head. And like, hey, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that was one of the things we didn't know, that she was super, super, super horny. All right. She kind of downplayed it in her story, but when he's talking about it and you see the text messages, she was still wanting him after this. Like this is the next day, like Friday into Saturday. She was still trying to hook up with him. It obviously didn't happen. That's why the video was made. But she was super freaked out. Like, and when I say freaked out, I mean like in like the horny sense. Still trying to hook up with him. It doesn't happen. She's just like, whatever. This was an experience I learned, I guess. She apparently still had a good time in Atlanta. But here's the twist. There is a second woman. All right. There is a second woman. Now, I found out about this today. There was another woman who, if I'm piecing everything together, because she made her own series of videos too. Again, I'm not going to play the videos on here because they're very long. So hopefully I've explained it well enough. But there is a second woman who he was also talking to before he was talking to Kim. And she also flew out to Atlanta from Cleveland. And apparently, according to some people on the internet and some people who, I guess, seen them together, he wasn't with his daughter. He was with the second woman he was talking to. All right. And there's apparently evidence of this. So he got two women to fly out to see him. Obviously, he can't see them both at the same time. So he lied to Kim, and I'm assuming he lied to, I'm not assuming, but in the other video time that the second woman did, she's saying that he had his daughter around, he can't see her, or he sent that message to her, meaning to send it to the other woman. So he's lying to both of them. He's lying to both of them. But he did see the second woman eventually. I don't know if it was like a couple days after or that was before, but he did see the other woman, and she showed video of, or maybe that was earlier. Actually, I think that was earlier, now that I'm thinking about it, because I watched her video. She did show proof that they were talking. I think it was that Friday, maybe earlier that Friday, because I think she flew out on the 13th. She showed her flights as well. So she flew out on the 13th. Kim was going to fly out on the 14th, or yeah, the 14th that night. And he was with her earlier in the day, and he was texting them both. So, listen, at first, I'm going to say my side of the story, how I feel. At first, I did feel bad for the girl, Kim, initially. And then the text messages, and Gotti was speaking on his side of the story. And then today, because I was with him, I was like, oh, okay, she's the throat spray, that's a little too much. That's not even a little too much. That's way too much. Getting throat numbing spray, like you need to calm down. Like, you're a mother of three. You're flying out to see men too freaked out, gooned the hell out. I don't know. Like, you need to calm down. And, I'm not here to slut shame or do any of that. But at some point, like, you're in your early 30s. You're still doing shit that you were probably doing in your, like, the mid 20s. You got 3 kids. You don't feel a little embarrassed. You're flying out to see random men you find attractive or who have money, because she thought he was a scammer at first before they FaceTimed. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is what you're doing in your life now. It's kind of sad. It's real fucking sad to be doing this still. Hopefully she learned her lesson and she's gonna settle down, or maybe not settle down, but find a man in your sound. Find a man in New York. But there's that. There's Gottiboyanttt boy, who, I mean, listen, good for him. Good for him. You got like 2 girls, maybe more. They're all trying to fly out to see you. You got options. I mean, hey, I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to shame anyone for that. But, like, ladies, y'all down bad. Y'all flying out to see this man, and he don't even care. He don't even care. He's probably got like 5 more girls he's talking to right now. Ooh, the internet was cooking her ass, though. Like, all I seen on Twitter was just memes. Everyone kind of shaming her. Like, I mean, she deserved it. She deserved it. You're too old to be doing that at a certain point, and you got 3 kids too. If she didn't have the kids, that'd be fine. But you got 3 kids, and if she would have went through with that, if they would have hooked up, who knows? She might have a 4th. She might have a 4th. Yeah, this story is wild. And listen, in my opinion, too old to be doing this shit. If he has a daughter, which I'm assuming he has a daughter, even though he's kind of lying to both of them about it, he's also too old to be doing this. Like, if you got kids, and the other, I forgot to mention this, the second woman also has kids, and she has a kid, and I guess it wasn't her week, because she was calling him out about that, like, oh, you with your daughter, blah, 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 blah. Like, all these people, all 3 people in the story have kids, and they're acting like this. We need to bring shame back. Like, y'all acting a fool. The second woman didn't even have to come into the story. She just wanted to insert herself in it. But if you have kids and you're acting like this, you need to feel ashamed of yourself. Like, just meet someone in your town. Meet someone in your town. Don't be doing this shit. Like, have some respect for yourself. Just have a little bit of respect for yourself, all right? But I think that's everything. I don't think I missed anything. I'm trying to think. I think that's the entire story. Is as much short as I can get it. But yeah, like, it's still trending today. I think you go on TikTok, people are talking about it. Go on Twitter, people are talking about it. But listen, you got kids. You need to calm down. Just calm down a little bit. Because, listen, they're going to go on here someday. They're going to go online. They're going to see their parents doing all this embarrassing shit. And I feel bad for the kids in the upcoming generation because there is no shame. It's just clout and money and attention. And if someone can get it, they'll get it. And the kids that are being born into this and their parents are just embarrassing themselves, they're, hopefully they won't have to face it, but the internet's forever. And ooh, I just hope the kids won't be made fun of. I just think about the kids. But yeah, I think that's about it for that. I'm gonna try to find all the videos and link them in the description below, so you can go watch them yourself, because they are kind of long. But yeah, don't fly out to meet someone if you don't think the connection's there. I think that's the final message I want to say. Save your money, meet someone in your town. If it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out.